So with this video, I just want to give you a bit of a backdrop as to why I'm making it to start with. As you can see in the background here, I've got my old GQ Patrol. And just over the last couple of years, we've just been slowly doing bits and bobs on it. Nothing major. So we're not, everything's done on a budget with this car. The paint job, did it myself. It's just simple. The suspension, did that myself. Got all the bar work powder coated locally. Just everything on a budget. And it's come up all right. I'll show you a few before and after shots in a few minutes. But one thing I didn't really want to have to do was any major engine works. And the engine that was in the car to start with did have big problems. It would overheat all the time, just normal driving. I was losing coolant. I didn't want to know. And I knew it had a hard life. The chappie before me, just reading between the lines, I think he'd overheated it quite a few times. So what I did is I got a donor car and I whipped the engine out of that because it was just this old bloke who had owned it ever since new. Just felt really good about the history of the car, and whacked the engine and gearbox into my Patrol, and everything was just running sweet. Couldn't believe it. Even with the increased boost, more fuel, I took the 10mm pump off and I installed the 11mm pump. Yeah, it was all U-Butte. And then what happened is last week I was just doing a bit of a service on the car, getting it ready for our Cape York trip, and I noticed a little bit of coolant on the ground. The old cringe, where's that coming from? Followed it back up and it was coming out through the head gasket. I thought, okay, this will be easy. It's just head gasket stuff. We'll whip the head off, put a genuine gasket on, and we'll be away. Anyway, got the head off. Here it is here. And it turns out that the head has a few problems. So just taking you through firstly, you can see with the pre-combustion cups, there's splitting in there as well. Whoops. There's cracks there. But obviously that's not a game changer, that's fairly normal. But you see this crack here going between the pre-combustion cup and across into the exhaust valve seat there. That's a big one, and the next one along, same, but this crack actually only goes, halfway along there. And that actually answers a big question in my mind, because what was happening before is I was getting the odd bubble in my coolant, but I had just thought that it was like an air pocket, air trapped in the system, because it was so intermittent, and it, when you take the cap off and you're running the car, it wasn't bubbling up hard out. And then the other thing was, on a big run, I would lose about 500 to 700 mil of coolant every time. So I suspected, and this is the thing, you try and be the real optimist with your head. You're like, I suspect there's a head problem here, but I don't want to think about it. So I just, I kept filling it up, and I thought what I'll do is I'll get a low coolant alarm, and I can show you the one I got another time. But I thought, well, with all those things, a low coolant alarm, bit of knowledge of what's going on, I should be right. Anyway, now I've got the head off, I can see that the problems are a lot greater than what I had hoped. So, getting back to the story, we were 13 days away from going on our big trip to the Cape. We're towing a camper. I thought, well, let's get a new head. So I jumped online straight away, had a look at all the options, and 3 companies showed up. I thought to myself, well, what I'll do is I'll email all of them, I'll explain my situation, and I'll tell them it's urgent. I need, if we're going ahead with this, I want to pay it and just get it sent straight away. So I emailed all three of them, same story to all three of them. One of them, interestingly, came back that same evening and said to me, yeah, no worries, mate, I'll get you a price tomorrow. I never heard from him again, unfortunately. The other company never got back to me at all. But one company, they got back to me the next day and confirmed all the questions I'd asked. They were good. No worries communicating with them. In fact, I fired a couple of questions back. For example, how are your heads going in Northern Australia? Can they handle the ambient temperatures? These old Patrols, they don't have a very good cooling system anyway. So how are your heads going? What about the kit that comes with it? The head gasket, the bolts. There's just so many unknowns, and I don't know if you're the same as me, but it would be really nice to just have an answer. Are the imported Chinese heads any good? Are they all the same? I suppose that's the question we all want to know, because getting a genuine head isn't easy anymore. And well, just to be frank about it, they're really, really expensive. So just to get the head is just crazy money. And then you've got to get your gasket, your bolts, all your other bits and bobs as well. But this one just comes in a kit. It's everything, and it was about $1,500–$1,600. You just can't go past that. So there are a few reasons why I chose this mob, because one, they got back to me, which already makes them like 10 times better than everyone else. And two, the price was awesome. And then the thing that I just couldn't believe was, so last Thursday I had that conversation with them, and then Friday they sent it. Now it's Monday at 1 p.m. today. The head kit was sitting on my driveway. TNT delivered it. Just couldn't believe it. That's in COVID times. Shipped all the way from Sydney to central Queensland over the weekend. That doesn't happen. So they're getting all the ticks so far. And obviously, any company can have great customer service, great shipping times, but do they have a great product? That's what this is all about. Let's find out if this head is as good as some people say they are, or is it as bad as some people say they are. We'll unbox it, have a look what's in the kit, and then just in my very amateur way, I'll show you installing it. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just like a full-on backyarder. I have no particular trade skills in this area at all. This is all stuff I've done on my own. And so this is all just going to be a bit of an interesting experiment for all of us. But answering that key question, are these heads any good? Can they handle what the typical Aussie bloke's putting across them? Can they handle the boost that we want to put on it, the extra fuel? So after about 12 months of daily driving and a few big trips like this Cape trip, we'll pull the head off and send it away for ultrasonic cleaning, pressure testing and crack testing, and we'll just see how the head fared through all of that as well. But that's obviously down the line, we'll do that. But this video is just trying to introduce you to what we're trying to achieve here. Well, what I'm trying to achieve here, sorry. There's no we. So I'm just doing this in my backyard, in the shed here. Just taking all these videos on my phone. Just purely for the reason that it would be good to know the answer to that. Are these heads any good?